When you hear mental illness, you imagine a person who's crazy and violent. Well, that's the very first misconception I'll be debunking in this video. All mentally ill people are violent. Although mental illness could cause the affected individual to act irrationally and violently, but this is not so in all cases. In fact, there is a condition called catatonia in which the mentally ill person is just sitting still and motionless, not causing problem, not violent. Yeah, so it is wrong to have the conception, to have the idea or ideology that every mentally ill person is violent. Mental health problems are uncommon. According to World Health Organization, 1 in every 4 individual has mental illness or will have a mental illness in his lifetime. Yeah, so you can see how high that number is. So if we have 16 people in a room, 4 out of these 16 people have mental illness, and so on, talking about a multiplication of 4s. Yeah, so the thing that makes mental illness to be less spoken about is the stigma attached to it, and the way people don't want to talk about how they feel mentally, even though they have a diagnosis of a mental illness. Just few people come out to say that, oh, I was diagnosed with a mental illness, or I was diagnosed with that mental illness. So that's why it seems like there are a few people who have mental illness, but the reverse is the case. Many people suffer one form of mental illness or the other, and this leads to the next misconception, and that is mentally ill people are weak people. This is not the case. You can have the strongest biceps, have 6 packs, broad chest, and still come down with mental illness. So it's not a matter of weakness, it's just susceptibility and situations. Yeah, so when you see someone that has a mental illness, or if yourself even has a mental illness, don't see yourself as weak, don't see those people as weak. That's a very wrong misconception. Yeah, and now this weakness now cause the corporate world or people that give jobs to people to see them as not fit for the job. So the next conception is mentally ill people cannot work. And that is not the case. Although mental illness can limit the work that a person can do. For example, a mentally ill person might not be trusted with taking charge of decisions that affect consumption of food, because there are different steps that a mistake could cause poisoning. Even people who are not mentally ill make mistakes, so you can see that someone that is mentally ill cannot be trusted with that kind of food, with that kind of processing of food. But that doesn't mean that mentally ill person cannot be trusted with cleaning a skyscraper or cleaning a building, or cannot be trusted with other jobs. Yeah, so despite the fact that mental illnesses limit work that the sufferer can do, it doesn't put an end to occupation. It doesn't put a limit. It doesn't end that person's work career. Before I continue further, let me tell you a story. There's a series called Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This series, I love this series so much. So in this episode, Captain Ray Holt was making fun of his assistant, who was so engrossed in this video game, and he saw her. He noticed that she was addicted to it, and he laughed. He made fun of her and felt superior to her, that he himself could never get addicted to a common video game. So she exposed him to that game, and after playing several levels of the game, he became addicted to the point of hiding, because he was embarrassed that he himself is addicted with that game. So this story that I've just told will lead to the next misconception I'm talking about, which is addiction is a lack of willpower. No, addiction is not a lack of willpower. It just happens that you just get addicted. It just happens. So when you see someone being addicted, don't see them as people that lack willpower. Or when you see yourself getting addicted to a particular thing, don't see yourself as a person that lacks willpower. That's a very wrong misconception. And the final point, the final misconception, is that mental illnesses are fatal. Mental illnesses are not fatal. Yeah. So don't have it in mind that once a person is diagnosed with mental illness, or yourself you are diagnosed with mental illness, that you are going to die. No. It's just that, take for example, a person is diagnosed with panic attack. If that person has a panic attack while driving, so that panic attack exposes that person to a road traffic accident. So it's not the panic attack that directly killed that person, but the circumstances in which the panic attack, came to play. Yeah, so mental illnesses do not cause death, do not kill. Only circumstances warrant them to kill.
Hello fam, welcome to the Psychic Gym. Chee! My name is Tofumi and I'm a medical student and psychiatrist in VIEW. On this channel, I talk about topics related to mental health and also topics that relate to a positive mindset. If you've enjoyed this video that you just finished watching, make sure to like and subscribe so that you can get notified when I post new videos, and also so that my videos can reach out to more people so that they can learn and know better about their mental health. Yeah, so welcome aboard. Stay cool, stay fresh, and most importantly, stay psyched.